The sounds and smells of spring are in the air. For Soda Springs, the birds are breaking out of their nest and taking to the field for some good old baseball and softball. If you listen close, you can hear it. Baseball and softball in the Idaho Rocky Mountains can be as unpredictable as the weather, but the hopes of a strong season are high for the Cardinals of Soda Springs as they pursue a trip to the state championship later this spring. For the first time, KBRV is bringing you every step of that trip. Every diving catch, every line drive to the gap, every run of the season can be heard right here on your home for Cardinal Sports. Live local sports are brought to you on the Bear by Monsanto, Reed's Plumbing and Heating, Sanders Furniture, Agrium, Feeding the World Responsibly, Silver Star Communications, and by MyLocalRadio.com. We're about 20 minutes away from the first pitch, so hold on to your seats and turn your radios loud as we send you to the field for all the action with the voice of Caribou County Sports, Caleb Burgraff, on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at MyLocalRadio.com.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, for the final time today out to Glenns Ferry, Idaho, as the Soda Springs Cardinals getting ready to wrap up Day 2 of the Glenns Ferry Wood Bat Tournament and taking on the defending state champion NAMPA Christian Trojans in today's ball game, which should be a phenomenal game. The Cardinals 1-1 in the tournament already and looking to build on that record and get above 500. They went 3-1 at this tournament last year, but it's not going to be easy to do that once again this year. We're going to take a break here in our pregame show brought to you by Deceitfully Tan in Soda Springs. And when we come back, we're going to jump into our standout student as well as talk a little bit about what's going on in the tournament so far. And we'll sit down and talk with Coach Jeff Yuskoski of the Soda Springs Cardinals baseball team. That's on the other side of this break on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at MyLocalRadio.com.
Deceivingly Tan at 186 South Main Street in Soda Springs, Idaho is currently having 2 spray tan specials for high school students. Our prom special is only $15, and for you distinguished young women contestants, it's only $10 to get your instant tan before the competition. You'll look great with a spray tan that will leave you looking healthy and radiant. Call today for your appointment at 208-547-0514. That's Deceivingly Tan in Soda Springs at 208-547-0514.
Thanks again to Deceitfully Tan for being the sponsor of our pregame show here on KBRV 800 The Bear, as well as online at MyLocalRadio.com. And tonight, or this afternoon, I should say, we have a fantastic game getting set to come your way as the Soda Springs Cardinals get set to take on the Nampa Christian Trojans, the defending state champions this year in 2A baseball, as they were able to run their way to the state championship under what is now his 34th year in head coach Mark Harris. We're going to jump into our standout student before we talk more about this game and more about what's happened on the season so far as the Cardinals and Trojans get warmed up on the field. They continue field prep as well. Back with our standout student right now, actually, on KBRV 800 The Bear, as Aubrey Williams had the chance to sit down and talk with us here on the Deceitfully Tan pregame show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at MyLocalRadio.com.
Caleb Burgraff joined right now with our standout student, Aubrey Williams from Soda Springs High School. And Aubrey, you're a senior at the high school. How's the senior year been going for you so far? And what are the thoughts for you now that you're getting here towards the end of it?
It's going pretty good, but getting closer to the end of the year, I'm just over things and don't really want to do anything anymore.
Senioritis kicking in a little bit there. Have you found any tips to battling the senioritis at all?
Get your stuff done when you get it, because if you procrastinate, it's not going to get done.
I know one of the big things here is the senior project. What did you do your senior project on this year?
I shadowed a physical therapist.
And that ties into something that you want to go on to in the future, a little bit at least. What was it like doing that, and what were some of the things that you learned?
I like doing it because you got to work with a whole bunch of different people and see the different things, and I thought it was fun other than, you can't be shy, you just have to open up.
Some of the other classes that you took were English, math, and some of those going on through the year. What are some of the other classes that you enjoy, and if you could choose a class, what would be your favorite class to sit in through an entire day?
I'd probably sit in English or math through the entire day. I like the cooking classes.
Now, when you look at the classes that you like, what draws you into English and what draws you to math as subjects that you enjoy?
English has always been my best subject, and math is just something easy I could pick up on.
Looking at teachers that you like, those always make a huge difference when you're in the high school. There's a lot of teachers here, but as a senior, you've probably had a chance to take the majority of them. Who are some of your favorites that you've had through your time here?
I like Tara Fetzer and Pancal, Thompson, and which one about?
When you look at a teacher, what makes a good teacher for you, especially with college coming up? What do you want to see when you walk into the classroom from a teacher?
Someone that's there to help you out and you're not scared to go talk to when you need help with something, and always just have a good attitude.
You also did some extracurricular stuff here at Soda Springs. You were on the dance team. What was that like, being actually able to go to state with the dance team this year and being able to perform over in Boise?
It was good. It's enjoyable, and you get to show off all the skills that you learn throughout the year and just show them what you got.
How much has the dance team grown since you've been here at Soda Springs? And do you feel like it's moving forward in a really good direction now that you guys leave kind of a little bit of a legacy?
I feel like we're doing really good, and I feel like we've had a good year, and they're going to have pretty good teams throughout the year.
Next year, college obviously is one of the things that you could end up doing, but you also said that you might end up taking a year off. When do you think that decision is going to be made for yourself? And if you do end up going to college, where did you want to go?
I'm pretty sure I'll decide when I graduate, and I'd like to go to ISU.
ISU is a little bit closer to home, but you said that that's not necessarily something that mattered to you. The nursing field and the medical field they have over there, however, is something that is a draw to that college. What made that something that you really were drawn to as far as a career?
I've always been interested in it, and it's been a big family thing. Most of my family's been in the medical field.
We'll wrap it all up with this one last question. That's, when you think about Soda Springs High School, what is going to be your favorite memory? What's going to be the big thing that you carry with you from your experiences here at Soda Springs High?
All the amazing teachers and all the staff and all the great work that they do for you guys.
Aubrey, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk with us. Good luck in your future, and good luck with finishing out the year, and hopefully we'll be seeing you doing some great things in the future.
Thank you.
That was senior Aubrey Williams here on our pregame show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com as we continue to move towards first pitch of our game between the NAMPA Christian Trojans and the Soda Springs Cardinals. Back after this with an interview with the head coach of the Soda Springs Cardinals, as Jeff Yuskoski had a chance to sit down and talk with us on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Hi, this is John Ondrasik of Five for Fighting, here for RAD, the entertainment industry's voice for road safety. You know, style is a personal thing.
Foundation and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization?
Hi,
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
Apologize for that, folks. We had a little bit of a skip in our production there, but everything should be set once again as we get set for our broadcast between the Soda Springs Cardinals and the NAMPA Christian Trojans. And we had a chance to sit down with the head coach of the Soda Springs Cardinals as Jeff Yuskoski stopped with us and talked about how the tournament's gone so far for the Cardinal hardballers. We'll have his interview right now on the Deceitfully Tan pregame show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Caleb Burgraff here with Coach Jeff Yuskoski from the Soda Springs baseball team on the pregame show. And Coach, you guys got a very big win for you guys, not just coming away with a big victory against Wells, Nevada earlier this morning, but also to give you guys some momentum going into a big game for you guys this afternoon. Overall, what were your thoughts on the way the kids competed and played in their first game?
I was really happy with how they competed. We got a really good effort on the mound from a freshman who came out and he threw lots of strikes. We had a quick inning, maybe 5 pitches in the entire first inning, and that really helped set the tone right because 9 o'clock in the morning, high school boys, I was worried half of them weren't awake, and so that was really nice to get started. The effort was terrific. They gave us a few runs, and hey, that's just high school baseball sometimes.
When you look at Peyton Lish, there were some great defensive plays made behind him, but also there were some mistakes that put him into some jams. But he did a very good job, you talk about that, of walking his way out of those jams and just making sure that he pitched to contact to get him out of those jams. Does that give you more confidence in your pitching staff when you see a talented freshman, coming off and doing that, not just physically but mentally?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. We've talked about with the pitchers, it's really more mental than physical. The physical attributes to pitching, being able to throw the ball or throw the ball hard is not really the most important thing. The most important thing is to be able to block out everything else, whether it's a bad fielding play, whether it's a walk, whether it's whatever. They should only be able to see the glove, and that mental focus is really tough, especially with people barking at you. And Peyton did a really good job this morning of really trying to focus. And if he can give us that same effort, he could really help our varsity club out this year.
This afternoon, you guys get NAMPA Christian. It'll be their first game today. Do you like the fact that you guys have already played a game, had a chance to get out onto the field, and they have not when you're playing a team like NAMPA?
I don't know. I'm not really concerned about them. I'm sure they'll show up ready to play. They're perennially one of the better teams in the state. I'm sure they. I think they even had school today, so I'm sure they went and they learned something today, and now they're coming over here and ready for a ball game. I don't think it's necessarily too big of an advantage. I just hope my kids didn't wear themselves out at the park too much this morning.
Devin Adams is who you're going to be throwing. Not many times you get to hear about your catcher getting out there to pitch, but this time you had your backup catcher pitch in the morning game, and your starting catcher is going to be pitching the afternoon game. Do you like the fact that they're battery mates? They have a good comfortableness with each other when they're out there?
That's an interesting perspective. In 2A baseball, we're just trying to find kids that throw strikes with an arm. So I think that the fact that they have worked together should help. Devin has a great arm. He just hasn't pitched a lot in the past. So we're hoping to get a good effort out of him. If he can really focus and throw strikes, he could be tough.
Hopefully the fielding is good behind him as well for a second straight game. And Coach, we'll look forward to hopefully talking about an upset of the defending state champions. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Caleb. Appreciate it.
That was Coach Jeff Yuskoski on our pregame show here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com, being brought to you by Deceitfully Tan in Soda Springs, where they're having a spray tan special right now, and you need to swing by. If you're a high school student, grab that spray tan, get yourself ready for the summer, and maybe you won't be like the people here in Soda or in Glens Ferry right now from Soda, as they are a little bit of a bright shade of pink as the sun has been roasting us all day here. But we're all excited for a game that is about to come your way between the NAMPA Christian Trojans in the golden uniforms with the white pants and the Soda Springs Cardinals in the black tops and white pants as well. Back after this with the opening pitch and starting lineups, as well as our keys to today's game on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
Agrium's mission is to help feed the world responsibly. A world of 7 billion people, growing to 9 billion by 2050. Agrium helps farmers meet this increasing demand by supplying the nutrients and products needed to grow healthy crops, which provides communities with food and income, leading to more investment in health, education, and infrastructure, while protecting the environment for future generations. Agrium, feeding the world responsibly.
Deceivingly Tan at 186 South Main Street in Soda Springs, Idaho is currently having 2 spray tan specials for high school students. Our prom special is only $15, and for you distinguished young women contestants, it's only $10 to get your instant tan before the competition. You'll look great with a spray tan that will leave you looking healthy and radiant. Call today for your appointment at 208-547-0514. That's Deceivingly Tan in Soda Springs at 208-547-0514.
Thank you again to Deceivingly Tan for being our sponsor of the pregame show, as KBRV 800 The Bear is getting set to bring you what should be a fantastic game. The Soda Springs Cardinals getting set to take on the defending state champions and Mark Harris's group of Trojans as they look to knock off the Cardinals and take the pesky birds out of the sky. And with that, it's time for us to look at our key to the game today. And keys to the game are brought to you by Soda Smiles Dentistry. A smile is a curve that sets everything straight. Dr. Matt Coons and the staff at Soda Smiles Dentistry are inviting you to their office on Main Street in Soda Springs. And our key to the game is, for the Cardinals, don't get yourselves out of it early. If you can keep yourselves in this game and keep yourselves moving in the proper direction, then you could have a chance against this Nampa Christian team. Remember, it is a timed game, so you cannot let yourselves get out of it too early, because there's always a chance to get back. And if you can keep it close, you could always find yourselves getting that early lead. Maybe you get that late lead in the 4th or 5th inning, and you're able to get yourselves out of this with a win and knock off a team that will not be easy to knock off, a team that has 7 seniors on the roster this year and adds another 4 juniors to that. In fact, only 4 underclassmen, and I believe none of those underclassmen in the starting lineup today as I look down the roster. So the Cardinals going against a very veteran team and a very experienced team in this Nampa Christian Trojan squad, and we are just about 7 minutes away from the first pitch, which gives us an opportunity to take one more break, as well, and we will give a recap of how this tournament has gone for the Cardinals baseball and softball teams while we continue on through today's tournament games, as this is the Deceitfully Tan pregame show on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live video streaming on the air at mylocalradio.com, coming to you live from Glens Ferry in sunny western Idaho.
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
How'd I do?
You'll get better.
Tim can't wait to be a real driver. But for now, he's king of the online track thanks to Silver Star Communications high-speed internet. Reliable, consistent speeds give him the edge against players anywhere, even the other end of the couch.
Whoa. You'll get better.
Visit silverstar.com to learn more.
April showers bring May flowers. Join nature in renewing the beauty around us by sprucing up your home this month. Contact Terry at Sanders Furniture and Appliance and get a free estimate on adding new floor covering throughout your home. They also have floor covers, vacuum cleaners, carpet cleaners, free belts and bags, and offer free carpet shampoo. See the store for details. And while you're in there, be sure to check out the fabulous inventory and rebates on Maytag, Whirlpool, GE, Crosley, Amana, KitchenAid, and Speed Queen appliances. That's Sanders Furniture and Appliance in Soda Springs, located across from the Caribou County Courthouse.
Welcome back out to Glens Ferry, Idaho, as the umpires having a chat with the Soda Springs head coach and Jeff Yuskoski, who has been able to manage this team to a 1-1 record in the early going at today's tournament. And they were a unfortunate loser to Wendell in the first game of the tournament for the Cardinals, 9-4 in the opening game. Then they turned around and returned the favor to the Wells Leopards from Nevada, as they were able to come away with a victory in that game with a strong performance as well, as they put up 9 runs in 4 innings and were able to come away with a 9-4 win in that game as well. Peyton Lish in that game ended up only giving up 1 hit. The team did have some errors in the field behind him, 7 officially on the scoreboard by the team, but that did not keep them from getting the win, and Peyton Lish was able to tiptoe his way through some of the base path destruction that the Leopards were trying to cause, and the Cardinals came away with that win, and now they're trying to make it 2 in a row, and also 5 out of the last 6 games that they have played, and get themselves into a little bit of a winning streak before they head back into district play and actually start district play in the upcoming weeks, as the Soda Springs Cardinals baseball team in the next couple of weeks is going to be actually taking on Firth on the 12th, then Shelley on the 15th, before they turn around and take on Snake River and Malad the next week, Malad and Bear Lake the week after that, and then a matchup with Bear Lake to wrap up the season on the road to finish the regular season for the Soda Springs Cardinals baseball team and the Hardballers. So that's a look at the schedule coming up for the Cardinals, but it all has to start out today, and it all has to continue on from today, I should say, as they get set for game number 10 on their young season in a quick season for baseball in southern Idaho. Wind coming into the field today as the field looking in pristine shape. Green grass on the infield that is well watered down, and then a little bit of a brown speckling out in the outfield. But for the most part, it is a nice shade of dark green in center field with the left and right field areas. A little bit of that speckling, as I said. Opening pitch set for 4:30. Two coaches have traded starting lineups, I should say, as they head to each of their respective benches. The Cardinals will be the home team in today's ball game as Nampa Christian will start out with the bats, and that gives us a chance to look at our starting lineups for today's game. And it is going to be started off by Nick Tuttle, number 15, who is going to be playing shortstop as a junior. Also, he's one of the pitchers that the Trojans could throw out there onto the mound. Bo Zemansky is going to be onto the lineup as the second baseman. He is a senior for this team. Batting third, I should say. Number 12 is third baseman Steven Tiersma, a senior as well. Number 4 in right field is Ryan Houchins, and he is a senior on this team. Number 6 is senior Harrison Niedermeyer, playing center field and batting in the 5-hole. Lex King will be doing the catching as a junior and batting in the 6-hole. Brandon Mullins plays left field in the 7-hole, wearing the number 10 as a junior. Pitcher is number 20, Tyler McConnell, and he is a junior on the mound as well. And it's all wrapped up by Bryce Aslin, playing at first base, wearing the number 23, and wrapping up the lineup with a senior trying to flip things over. In the field for the Soda Springs Cardinals, the starting battery for today's game will be a interesting choice on the mound. Devin Adams is going to get his first varsity start of the season as the Cardinals are trying to patchwork together a little bit of a pitching rotation this year, at least in this tournament. And Devin Adams gets the bump for the start of today's game, and behind the dish will be Peyton Lish as the two of them trade positions from the way that they were in the early game, and we'll see what Adams has on the mound for himself. Talking to Coach Yuskoski in the Deceitfully Tan pregame show, a good arm but a little bit wild, and we'll see how well that can translate to taking on a tough Nampa Trojans team. Out in the field, in the infield, I should say, from first base to third base, Braxton Kellen will be playing at first. At second base will be Jaron Johnson. Shortstop will be fielded by Zach Housley. And at third base, Kyle Dursteller will be playing the hot corner. In the outfield from left to right, it'll be the same as we had this morning. Kobe Allen plays left. Center field, Chris Lloyd is going to be the rover for the Cardinals. And in right field, Taylor Adams will wrap up the defense, which was able to get themselves to a 9-4 victory this morning, as we talked about, and we'll be hoping for something similar in this afternoon's affair. Trojans won't be a team to go easy, though, and they're 8-1 on the season coming into this game, and for the most part, they've only played 3A schools, as I was talking to Coach Mark Harris before this game started, and they are a very challenging team to take on and a very difficult district for them to work their way through as well. 6 teams, and most of the time, talking with the coach, New Plymouth is the number 1 team out of that district. So Nampa Christian, the defending state champions, really not even the team to beat coming out of District 3 this season and any season in this young year. Wind again, as I said, blowing left to right here. Clouds continuing to show a white film over the sky with a little bit of a patch of blue breaking open overhead. As stepping into the right-handed batter's box, Nick Tuttle will get things underway for the Nampa Christian Trojans. Wearing the golden tops, Trojans written across the front in script, white pants with a gold line coming down the right side. And he's got the old school 3-banded stirrups with the yellow bands across maroon socks and the yellow socks underneath as he steps into the right-handed batter's box. And Devin Adams will get the sign from Peyton Lish behind home plate. Infield playing a little bit of a shift to the right side, and the first pitch gets past Lish at the plate. And the low pitch starts inning number 1. A 1-0 count, and Adams will again make his way up to the batter's box, or up to the mound, I should say. Deep coaching staff for Nampa Christian. Harris remains on the bench. 34 years a coach at Nampa Christian, and one of the things that he was saying is, it gives me a chance to have people understand that I know what I'm doing. I'm not going to play kids just because they are a name, just because their parents say they should. They're going to play if you have talent. And that's something that takes a lot of time to get to as a coach, especially at the high school ranks sometime, as Adams gets even in the count 1-1 before throwing a fastball low, and the count moves to 2-1. Beautiful day. It's been all day long. Glens Ferry played earlier today. Ended up taking down West Jefferson in a 15-1 game. As Adams 1-1 pitch misses as well, and the count goes to 3-1 to the leadoff man for the Nampa Christian Trojans. After that, we saw a good game between the Malad Dragons and Prairie. Game Malad was able to come away with a victory in. Did not see the final score as a comebacker right to Devin Adams. Snares it with the glove to his left and flips it back over to the first baseman. And Braxton Kellen records the first out. And the Cardinals get a good start to the game with a soft comebacker to Devin Adams. And 1 out is recorded here in the top of the first inning on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. That will bring up the Trojans' second baseman, as Bo Szymanski will get his first appearance at home plate, using the yellow-topped and maroon-bottomed bat with the wood handle. And the first pitch, as he shows bunt, is taken for ball 1 upstairs, just off the zone. Adams did pitch in the JV game against Firth earlier this week, and unfortunately for him, did not make it through the first inning of that game, as this pitch off the outside corner. The count goes to 2-0. With 1 out, top of the first. Cardinals looking to try and get through a clean first inning. And Adams, the right-hander on the mound, sets. Was also the quarterback for the Cardinals this year on their football team, as he fires a pitch right by Szymanski. And Szymanski goes into the count now with a count at 2-1. Steps out. Shorter player, typical for your second baseman. Kind of has the same look of Jose Altuve from the majors. As Adams again sets on the mound, stares in, fires, and this pitch is going to be flared out into left center field. That'll split the defenders, as it will be fielded by Kobe Allen, and it'll be held to just a single for Szymanski as he starts this inning off with a little bit of a pop. And the Cardinals will have a man on base now for Adams, and we'll see how he handles the pressure and the speed on the base paths, as number 12, Steve Tiersma, will step into the batter's box. Cardinals shift to double play depth, so some holes on either side. Big hole over on the right side between first and second, and between short and third also a little bit of a gap. And Adams will set up. Fires, and the off-speed pitch cuts the inside corner, and the count moves to 0-1 on the number 3 hitter in the Trojans lineup. Peyton Lish behind home plate, getting what I believe is his third start this season. He got a pair of starts against Chalice Mackey in that doubleheader that the Cardinals played. As the runner goes, pitch fouled back to the screen, and Adams ahead in the count on the number 3 batter in the Trojans lineup. As he gets the ball back out to him and will make his way up onto the mound. 0-2 count ahead in the count to the senior third baseman for the Trojans. Outfield playing straight up for the Cardinals as Adams fires an off-speed pitch, cut him down, and send him back to the bench packing. Adams with his first strikeout of the game and 2 outs on the board with 1 man on, and the Cardinals are an out away from getting through the first inning, as that will bring up Ryan Houchins, the right fielder. Houchins, a right-handed batter once again. That's something you'll see a lot of in high school baseball at the younger ages. Not a ton of lefties, as this ball fouled off and spoiled as the runner taking off for second base once again. Szymanski looked like he had a good jump, but it was spoiled by Houchins, who took a rip at 1, and the count goes to 0-1 to the cleanup hitter in the Trojans lineup. On deck, Harrison Niedermeyer, the center fielder, looking for his first opportunity at the plate. Trojans, a mix of the high sock stirrups, the pants down around the shoes. As Adams fires again, runner goes, Lish fires down to second base, throw just a little bit late, sliding in under the tag is the runner in Szymanski, and the count goes to 1-1 as the ball missed away and outside. 1-1 count, 2 outs here. Top of the first inning, just underway. Cardinals playing as the home team here in the final game of the day at the Glennis Ferry annual Wood Bat Tournament, as there's an off-speed pitch for a strike. Adams, again, he struggled with his control against Firth earlier this year, but has come out and firing darts Gave a 3-ball count to Nick Tuttle before getting a comebacker, and since then he threw 2 balls to Bo Zamansky and has only thrown 1 since. 1-2 count. That pitch swung on, just fouled at the plate as Ryan Houchins stays alive. And we'll see one more delivery. As Adams again stares in. Plate being crowded a little bit, looking for a pitch up. Swing and a miss on the drop, 3rd strike. And that will be tagged as Ryan Houchins is tagged by Peyton Lish. And the Cardinals get through the top of the 1st inning without giving up a run as we head now to the bottom of the 1st here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com with live video streaming 0-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard.
April showers bring May flowers. Join nature in renewing the beauty around us by sprucing up your home this month. Contact Terry at Sanders Furniture and Appliance and get a free estimate on adding new floor covering throughout your home. They also have floor covers, vacuum cleaners, carpet cleaners, free belts and bags, and offer free carpet shampoo. See the store for details. And while you're in there, be sure to check out the fabulous inventory and rebates on Maytag, Whirlpool, GE, Crosley, Amana, KitchenAid, and Speed Queen appliances. That's Sanders Furniture and Appliance in Soda Springs, located across from the Caribou County Courthouse.
Welcome back out to the home of the Glens Ferry Annual Baseball Tournament. The Cardinals getting set for their first swings, and out on the mound, a hard-throwing right-hander is going to be the junior Tyler McConnell, batting in the 8th hole for the Trojans. Big-bodied man out on the mound as he gets to try and cut the Cardinals down in order, and he'll face a tough top of the lineup. Zach Housley leads things off wearing number 24. He had a very impressive game this morning as he was able to go 2 for 4 with a pair of RBIs and 2 runs, had a triple as well, and reached base 3 times. In fact, his only out was when he grounded out to 3rd base to start off the ball games. Devin Adams will follow after him. Braxton Kellen playing at first. Kyle Dursteller bats in the 4 hole as a 3rd baseman. Jaron Johnson plays 2nd base. Kobe Allen will be in left field. Taylor Adams, the right fielder, will be wearing the number 13 and batting in the 7 hole. Peyton Lish bats 8th as the catcher. And Chris Lloyd wraps it all up and tries to flip the order over, and that has become his comfortable spot in the 9 hole as he has been a valuable weapon in flipping the lineup over for the Cardinals. Final pitches being thrown here to the catcher behind the plate as Lex King lets one loose to 2nd base, signs that might be on, and he will stride into the right-handed batter's box. Righty-righty matchup to lead things off as the wind continues to blow somewhat stiffly into the right field corner. First pitch to Housley, bounce back right to the pitcher, and that'll be thrown on to first base as Housley is retired on 1 pitch. And much like Devin Adams, the pitcher does it himself, and that will bring up Devin Adams to the plate. He struggled in the first game today, went 1 for 4. Looking to try and find that groove at the plate again, as he had one earlier on in the season, and his last couple of games has not necessarily been the same bat as he takes a first pitch strike, bulleted to the outside corner. So that catches the black, and he'll step back into the righty box. McConnell once again fires, catches Adams swinging at a pitch up in the zone, and the count will go to 1-2. Adams back on his heels now, trying to get through this inning. Get through this at bat. He'll take one, pops it up high into the air. It'll stay in the field of play. The catcher trying to track it, puts it away. Struggled with it for a moment, but Lex King able to record the out on 3 pitches. And that'll bring up Braxton Kellen, trying to give McConnell a little bit of a workout on the mound. Has only had to throw 4 pitches now in the first inning. And the Cardinals will hopefully try to make him work a little bit more out there on the mound as the big righty winds and fires. First pitch upstairs to Kellen, and that is the first ball of the game for the Trojans pitcher. As he will wind, kicks, soft leg kick, and fires a pitch just off the outside corner, and Kellen's patience earns him a 2-0 count. Good heat on the fastball coming out of the hands of McConnell. As he works at a very quick pace, fires a pitch there at the knees, and the count goes to 2-1. 2 outs. Bottom of the first inning, 0-0 still on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard as that one misses the zone. The count goes to 3-1 now. And Braxton Kellen will again look out from the right-handed batter's box. Pitch to hit here if he can get one upstairs and outside, and he earns the walk. And he will stride down to first base with Kyle Dursteller making his way into the box now. The third baseman for the Cardinals. Good defensively, good as a pitcher, decent as a batter, and as a sophomore, those are things that you're just fine with seeing, as there's only room to grow up for this young man. He is going to be a very impressive player as he swings well late on a fastball there. That's right down the heart of the plate, and the count goes to 0-1. Dursteller again looks out. Sets up. Infield playing straight up as the pitch upstairs going off for second is Kellen, and he is cut down easily by a gun from Lex King, and the inning will end like that. We head to the top of the second inning. Cardinals and Trojans knotted up at nothing apiece here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
April showers bring May flowers. Join nature in renewing the beauty around us by sprucing up your home this month. Contact Terry at Sanders Furniture and Appliance and get a free estimate on adding new floor covering throughout your home. They also have floor covers, vacuum cleaners, carpet cleaners, free belts and bags, and offer free carpet shampoo. See the store for details. And while you're in there, be sure to check out the fabulous inventory and rebates on Maytag, Whirlpool, GE, Crosley, Amana, KitchenAid, and Speed Queen appliances. That's Sanders Furniture and Appliance in Soda Springs, located across from the Caribou County Courthouse.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing.
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out. Start of inning number 2 coming your way as Devin Adams works through his warm-up pitches on the mound. Cardinals and Trojans, neither one able to crack the scoreboard in the starting portion of this game, as these two teams will continue to try and battle their way through this first inning. And now into the second inning as the workout continues. It'll be 5, 6, and 7 in the Cardinals lineup coming up, as they'll be led off by Harrison Niedermeyer, Lex King to follow, and Brandon Mullins will be batting in the 7 spot as the left fielder. Adams steps up to the mound, and the right-hander peers in to Peyton Lish behind the plate as the wind begins to pick up, starting to blow in a little bit from center field. The first pitch upstairs, and the count moves to 1-0. Niedermeyer ducking out of the way of that one as Adams lost a little bit of the grip on the ball. 1-0 count now. Nothing on the scoreboard here at the start of inning number 2, and Adams fires another dart that drops just a little bit low and off the outside corner, picked up behind the plate by Lish and fired back in. Infield, again, shifted just a little bit over to the right side, a little bit of a hole up the middle as the strike to 1 pitch is fired over the heart of the plate, an off-speed pitch. Adams' curveball has really been his best pitch so far on the day. The off-speed pitch earned him a pair of strikeouts in the first inning, and that has been his most accurate pitch as well. And now another off-speed pitch. Looks like a little bit of a changeup, taking some speed off. We'll get a swing and a miss from Niedermeyer, and he'll step back into the right-handed box with a count at 2-2. 2-2 delivery off the outside corner. Had Lish moving out of his stance to grab that one. And now they'll line up with a full count delivery. Payoff pitch coming up here as the outfield will creep in just a little bit. Chris Lloyd playing very deep out in center field as he gets ready for delivery. This one inside and taken for ball 4, and Adams will give up his first walk of the game, second base runner of the game for the Trojans, and Lex King will get a chance to bat with nobody out in the top of the second inning, and a runner standing at first base. Cardinals playing in their 3rd game of this tournament, 10th game of the year, 6-3 coming into this game. So no matter what they do at this tournament, they'll be leaving with an above 500 record. And the first pitch into King is taken inside for ball 1. Adams not looking too concerned about the runner out on first base. Although Niedermeyer, the center fielder, as most center fielders are prone to do, should have some speed, so there will be a little bit of a stolen base threat. He'll lead off here, but will not take off as Adams pours another strike over the plate. Count evens up at 1-1. As Lish crouches down once again. Cardinals tomorrow morning will be back in action once again. Both the baseball and softball teams will be at it as this off-speed pitch breaks in a little bit too much, and the count goes to 2-1. Softball will be taking on McCall's JV as they look for their first win of the season still. 0-8 coming into that game. And the Cardinals baseball team will be taking on Prairie, who played before this game, taking on the the Malad Dragons as a pitch outside. Sees the count go to 3-1 now to Lex King at the plate. And Devin Adams in danger of walking his second man of the inning to a patient Lex King at the plate. As Adams sets, kicks, fires. This one fisted off of the hands of King. It's going to drop just outside of the reach of the second baseman Johnson for a single. And both runners will move up one base. Niedermeyer had to be careful with how far he went up, so he wasn't able to get a huge jump on the play. And he will pause at second base. Nobody out, though, with the left fielder Brandon Mullins coming up to the plate. And with a pair of hits in the game now, the Trojans will look to try and get a run. A walk and a single in this inning so far. Trying to crack into that runs column on the scoreboard out in right center field. 0-0 still to score here on KBRV 800 The Bear as a ground ball over to Dursteller, goes under his glove. That's going to have to go as an error. Runner coming home. The throw is going to be cut off by Adams. He throws it into the dirt past Dursteller. Another run is going to come home, and all the way up to third base after lacing the error is Brandon Mullins. Two separate errors on the play allow a run to come home and allow a runner to move up to third base. As Adams and Dursteller combine for the mistakes, and the Cardinals now trail 2-0 on your Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard after that mistake. Officially, they call that one a hit for Brandon Mullins. And then he moved up on both of the throwing errors by the Cardinals. So one error in the game so far as the pitch inside to Tyler McConnell as the pitcher will look to help himself out with nobody out and a 1-0 count facing him. Here in the top of the second inning. Cardinals got a good top of the first and now hoping to limit the damage here in the bottom of the first as Devins flares a strike over the middle of the plate, and the count moves even to 1-1. One error on the Cardinals so far in the games today. The wind continues to buffet in from left field. And an off-speed pitch, just a little bit high, couldn't bend it down in time, and the count goes to 2-1. Adams has been getting contact, hasn't walked too many people so far, only the one walk in the game, so his location has been fairly good. Just right now, the hits have been a little bit of a struggle for him. As 3 hits in the game, 2 of those in this inning as he misses with another one, and the count swells to 3-1 now. Infield brought in at the lip of the grass, except for over at third base where Dursteller stands off of the third base bag. Adams sets once again at the chest and bounces one to the plate. Good block by Peyton Lish. And a walk will be given up to the pitcher, Tyler McConnell, and puts runners on the corners now. Still nobody out with Bryce Aslin, the number 9 pitcher or number 9 batter coming up in the lineup for the Trojans. And a courtesy runner will jog out to first base. That is number 25, Luke Tuttle, a freshman on this NAMPA Trojans team. And now Aslin will step in, left-handed batter trying to flip the lineup over against the right-handed Devin Adams. Nobody out. 2 runs across already here in the top of the second inning, and Adams will lose the handle on a curveball that flares off the mound and is snared by Peyton Lish in the right-handed batter's box. 1-0 the count, nobody out. Adams, again, this is the first time he's gotten a chance to start a varsity game. Tomorrow's game against Prairie is going to end up being by volunteer, talking with head coach Jeff Yuskoski as this pitch bunted at and flared to the backstop. 1-1 count. Now facing Aslan at the plate. A big out here. If you can get this out and leave that runner over at third base, it gives you the opportunity to maybe turn a double play and get out of the inning. But you have to get this runner get this batter at the plate while still leaving that runner over at third. There's the number 9 hitter, a chance to do that. Aslan looks out. The senior takes a hack, grounds this one over towards short. It goes under the glove of Housley. That's going to be an error that'll cost the Cardinals not only a run, but also a chance at an out. And the E6 puts a runner on first base. Cardinals mistakes in the field continually costing them, as that will put runners on the corner still with 3 runs across here in the second. 3-0 with the Nampa Christian Trojans leading. As Devin Adams and Peyton Lish have a quick discussion on the mound, time called. They'll break up the conversation. Lish will return back behind home plate as the umpire takes the moment to clean off home plate and give himself a little bit better of an area to look at. Third base, Luke Tuttle, second base open. And that first, Aslan, after getting on the single through the legs of Zach Housley. As Adams, quick pickoff over to first. No, steps off and does the look back to first base. And now we'll reset. Got to be careful of getting called for the balk on that type of a play. So now Adams checks in, and the first delivery is going to be lined back to Housley. They get the runner off first, throw back to the bag, safe, as they're going to say that off the bag was Kellen, but the Cardinals get a big out on the line out by Nick Tuttle. First pitch to him, and Housley able to stay with the ball and records the out. So the Cardinals with 1 out, we'll see Bo Zemansky stepping up to the plate. And the second baseman, who singled his first time up on a flare that got past the glove of Jaron Johnson at second base, will step up into the right-handed batter's box with his second at-bat of the game here in the top of the second inning. 3-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Again, the yellow and maroon bat in this wood bat tournament. He'll pop one up. That's going to be out to Allen in left field. Kobe comes up, makes the play, and they're just going to allow the runner to come back in, as that'll be a sac fly on the first pitch, swinging out by Bo Zemansky. It does record a run, but the Cardinals do get a big out there and leave the runner at first base, so he cannot move up into scoring position. 2 outs now, top of the second inning, as a 4 spot up onto the board, and the Cardinals offense will have to do some work, but right now you still have to get that offense up to the plate, as Adams will stare into Lish behind the plate, and Steven Tiersma will step in. He struck out swinging his first time up. Here grounds one over to Dursteller, who has that one go off of his glove, and that is going to be another error on the Cardinals in the inning. The third mistake of the Cardinals, and puts runners now on first and second base, as the mistakes have been costing the Cardinals outs in this game so far. 3 earned runs in the game to this point in time for Adams, 4 runs across the plate, as Adams now sets, and this pitch gets past Lish behind the plate as the count goes to 1-0. A lot of early swinging as Adams trying to stick around the zone, but could not quite keep the zone on that play, as Ryan Houchins, who's also struck out his first time up, will step into the batter's box. 9th batter of the inning that the Cardinals right-hander is faced, and Adams will again stare in. Here at Pilot Field. And Adams will again set, fires this one inside, unflinchingly, as Ryan Houchins, and the Count goes to 2-1. Or 2-0, excuse me. 2 outs. Top of the fourth, just trying to work their way out. Cardinals in a jam still with runners on second and third as Adams fires another pitch. This will get past Lish again. Runners coming for home and easily getting across the bag with another run scored on a pass ball is Bryce Aslan. Again, that is not going to be an earned run with all the errors in the inning. And also, Aslan reached on an error earlier. The other runner, and Steve Tiersma, moves up to third base, and it's a 5 spot now in the second inning that the Cardinals have allowed to come across. And Adams will again stare in with a 3-0 count against Ryan Houchins at the plate, trying to get this number 4 hitter and get out of the inning as he'll fire a bullet down the middle, and the count goes to 3-1. Leading off of third base, Tiersma gets a walking lead, now stands just at the area where the grass opens up, and now a ball 4 will be taken down low in the zone, and Adams will surrender his 3rd walk of the game and puts a runner on the corners. And that will bring up Harrison Niedermeyer with his 2nd at-bat of the game. He walked his first time up and came around to score. And Adams will stare in. That was earlier this inning as Niedermeyer shows bump, pops it up at the top of the netting. And the count goes to 0-1 on the senior center fielder for the NAMPA Trojans. On deck, the catcher, Lex King, will hope for the Trojans' sake to get himself another at-bat. But for the Cardinals, they're looking to get out of this inning with the 5 spot, the only runs that have been earned. As Niedermeyer looks out once again, the center fielder awaits the pitch from Adams, who fires a pitch at the letters for a strike. Runner goes, and on defensive indifference, essentially, he will take second base with a stolen base. Oh, 0-2. The count with 2 outs. Adams with some pitches to play with here. Looking for the ball up as Lish gets up in the stance. Ball grounded over to third. Dursteller with the scoop this time. Throw on to first. Gets past Kellen over at first base. It's going to be another error on the Cardinals. Their 4th of the inning. And the mistakes continue to cost Soda Springs runs in this inning. As 2 more runs come across to score. And since their errors, unearned. 4 errors in the inning, 7 runs across for the Trojans in the inning. As Adams fires another pitch, that upstairs, can't get the strike call as Lex King steps in. The count goes to 1-0 onto the catcher for the Trojans. And Adams will stare in once again. The defending state champions showing one of the reasons why. Not only are they seeing the Cardinals make mistakes, but the big difference between that and a lot of teams is they're making the Cardinals pay for their mistakes in the field right now. And Adams will again have to stare in now, but with a 1-1 count. Fires this one upstairs and away as he lost the handle on a fastball up in the zone, and count goes to 2-1. Still here in the top of the second inning, 7-0, a 7 spot being dropped by the Trojans in this frame. And Devin will set once again. Works with the right hand delivery, fires that one off the outside corner, tried to bend it back in, and King will see it go to a 3-1 count. As the catcher stares back in. Devin fires this pitch off the outside corner. Ball 4 will allow King to take his base, and it puts runners on first and second as now the 11th batter of this inning will step into the plate. Brandon Mullins, who reached on a single his first time up, advanced on a error and came around to score, will step into the batter's box. Only 2 outs so far in the inning, with The 12th batter of the inning coming up to the plate. Mullins watches the first pitch kick up some dirt as it enters the glove of Peyton Lish behind home plate. And a pinch runner will check into the game for the catcher of the Trojans, as Lex King will take a seat on the bench, and the courtesy runner will be John Clapier. Excuse me. As he takes his place on first base, the senior getting a chance to jog out onto the field. Trojans holding on to that 7-0 lead here, still top of the second inning. All 7 runs have come in this frame, and Adams gets a strike on the outside corner as the count moves to 1-1. 2 outs still. And Mullins will again look out. This pitch, off-speed curveball, beauty of a pitch too, dropped over the front of the plate. And Brandon Mullins goes down 1-2 now in the count. And Adams a strike away from getting out of this big inning. And the senior will take a long, hard look into Peyton Lish as Mullins gets set, waits for the pitch, bounced off the plate. Lish is going to hustle back and pick up the ball as runners move up. Each one taking an extra base. Niedermeyer gets up to third base on the throw. And King gets up to second. The pair of runners in scoring position now in a 2-2 count. Brandon Mullins has a chance to tack on a few more onto this lead. Deuce is wild on the scoreboard. 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs. And Adams hoping to get a final out. Sets at the chest. Fires. That one fouled back to the screen here. And the count will stay at 2-2. A lot of pitches in this inning for Devin Adams. You wonder how long the Cardinals are going to let Adams stay in this game. I mean, obviously they're going to let him finish this inning. But the big question comes down to how long do you keep him in the game after this, because you don't want to wear out his arm. As another ball laced up the middle. That's going to be a seeing eye single that'll score 1 and 2 runs. As jogging across, standing up to finish that will be John Clapier. And it's a 2 RBI single for Brandon Mullins at the plate, who clears the bases, resets it, and makes it a 9 spot here in this inning, and will allow yet another runner to come up to the plate, or batter to come up to the plate, I should say. As Tyler McConnell, the pitcher, sure did not think he was going to get a pair of at-bats in this game, will stride up to home plate. Right-handed batter facing the right-handed pitcher, and he'll ground one over towards third. Kyle Dursteller up with it, throws on to first base. Strong throw, good throw, and the out is recorded on 1 pitch. Cardinals surrender 9 runs in the inning. That they do escape it, and they will have a chance with their bats coming up here. Bottom of the second inning on the way on KBRV 800 The Bear, with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
Back here at the home of the Glens Ferry Wood Bat Baseball Tournament, the Soda Springs Cardinals give up 9 runs in the top of the second inning. But they finally escape it. 4 errors and 3 hits given up in the inning for the 9 runs. Also 4 walks. No strikeouts for Adams. Several passed balls. But gives the offense a chance to come up to the plate now and try and do some work with the middle of the order. Kyle Dursteller, Jaron Johnson, and Kobe Allen set to get some opportunities, as they will be facing against the junior right-hander, who has been firing some bullets so far to this Cardinals team. Cardinals having to work fairly deep down in their roster so far with the pitching staff, but most of that not necessarily on Devin Adams. He was getting the right kind of hits, just a lot of errors being made in the field behind him. 4 errors is not something that you can ever really survive as a pitcher. As Kyle Dursteller will come in, he had a couple of those errors, so he'll try and atone for some of those as he takes the first pitch ball in front of him, and the count goes to 1-0. And he'll flare a ball out to the second baseman on a line drive that records the out. And on 2 pitches, Dursteller will be retired. Adams ended up throwing 45 pitches in that second inning. And the first pitch now to Jaron Johnson at the plate will be in the dirt. Kicks away from the catcher behind the plate as Lex King lets that one go to the screen, and the count will move to 1-0. 1 out here, bottom of the second inning, 9-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Johnson gets jammed. Ball goes over to the second baseman, who throws this one up into the air, but it's going to be a tag applied by the first baseman as Bryce Asland awarely gets the ball into the glove, and after being pulled off, slaps the tag onto Johnson running by. And the out is recorded on another 2 pitches. Another quick inning working its way through here right now as Kobe Allen will step up. And the first pitch to Kobe off the outside corner. And ball 1 will again start the at-bat. Cardinals have not necessarily been showing a ton of patience in today's game as another pitch taken downstairs, and the count goes to 2-0. They've been being very aggressive, which is not a bad thing to say about a team. You kind of like to see an aggressiveness from some of your players. As this pitch inside, taken ball 3, and Kobe Allen looking to try and get on base much the way Braxton Kellen did, as Kellen was able to earn a 5-pitch walk. And the 3-0 pitch given for ball 4, and Kobe Allen will jog down to first base with Taylor Adams, the left-hander for the Cardinals, in right field coming into the batter's box for himself as he'll hitch up the pants and steps in. Slightly open stance for Taylor. No batting gloves as he will reg one over to second base, and that one is fielded cleanly by the second baseman, and Szymanski fires it on to Aslan, and the out is recorded. Cardinals do get a runner on base, but they can't bring anybody around to score, and we head now to the top of the third inning. Score sits at 9-0. Trojans on top of the Cardinals on KBRV 800 The Bear with live streaming video online at mylocalradio.com.
mylocalradio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. mylocalradio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what mylocalradio.com has for you.
Would your business survive a disaster? Nearly 2/3 of businesses aren't prepared for an emergency, and 40% of businesses that experience a disaster never recover. Make an emergency plan now, before it's too late. For a free online tool that helps you develop an emergency plan to keep your business up and running should disaster strike, visit ready.gov/business. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, the American Red Cross, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out to Pilot Field in Glens Ferry, Idaho, as Devin Adams wraps up his warm-up pitches to get out there for the top of inning number 3. Cardinals down 9-0, and they'll be facing 9-1-2 in the order for the Nampa Christian Trojans. And coming up to the plate will be Bryce Aslan, who reached on an error his first time up. Left-handed batter to face the right-handed Devin Adams, who's out for a second inning of work after throwing 45 pitches in the second inning. And has 62 pitches overall, and a good strike across the plate to start things off by the Cardinals right-hander. 4 hits for the Trojans, 4 errors on the Cardinals. 9 runs for the Trojans, no runs for the Cardinals as the ball is flared outside of Jaron Johnson's reach, and a runner will get on base on a leadoff single for Aslan. And that is the 5th hit of the game now for the Trojans. It's a soft line drive that Jaron Johnson could not quite get to, moving to his right. Hit the dirt to try and get to it, but could not quite snare it down with the glove in his left hand. That'll bring up the top of the order. Nick Tuttle coming up to the bag. And the first pitch to him is inside and tight. And the count goes to 1-0 to the shortstop, who is 0 for 2, the only runner and man for the Trojans yet to reach base. Cardinals hoping to keep him that way. And the right-hander looks out. Adams fires an off-speed pitch. Beautiful curveball that drops down for a strike, and the count goes to 1-1. Nobody out, top of the 3rd inning. 9-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. We talked about the Cardinals needing to keep themselves close in this game, and unfortunately the offense hasn't done much to that fact, and the defense, while Adams has been getting ground balls, has not had their best of performances in today's game. With the 4 errors coming up in the 3rd box. That's the one box that you don't like to see things pop up in if you're a Cardinals fan. 0-1-2 count after the last pitch fouled off and spoiled. Adams will have this one bouncing off the dish. Ball gets past Peyton Lish at the plate, and it'll be a pass ball to allow Aslan to move up. And Adams will look to a 2-2 count now with a runner in scoring position. Sun continues to drop behind us here. Last time the Cardinals played, the sun was in the opposite position. Coming up over the left field fence, now comes up behind the first baseline with the shadow starting to extend from the trees in the dugout. In fact, the tree that borders the field here, as this pitch inside and tight, is going to be called a ball for ball number 3. And I think that Tuttle thought that he was hit with the pitch, and the umpire says, I don't think it necessarily caught you. So we'll do it all over again. You got one more to wait for. 3-2 count. Nobody out here, top of the 3rd. And Adams will set once again. Stretches, fires, this one grounded over to 3rd. Dursteller has it go off of his glove and could not get his body in front of it. Coming around to try and score as the runner moves up to 2nd is going to be Bryce Aslan. That'll put 10 runs up onto the board on another mistake made by the Cardinals' 3rd baseman. And that, unfortunately for him, is going to be his 3rd mistake and error of this game so far. As up to 2nd base went Tuttle on the throw. The speedster getting on base for the first time this game, and the score sits at 10-0 now on your Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard as Adams fires a pitch off the outside corner, and it goes for ball 1. Cardinals still being held hitless in this ball game so far. Have put the ball in play, though, on their own side of the bats. It's not like they've been going down without a fight. They've hit the ball in play every single time. As this pitch is outside for ball 2. Cardinals have yet to strike out in this game on their side. Adams, for his own portion, has gotten a pair of strikeouts in the game as this pitch misses upstairs. Count goes to 3-0 to the number 2 hitter in the Trojans lineup. Trojans, again, the defending state champions out of District 3, and a team that is continually a presence at the state tournament, a private school from NAMPA. They await as Szymanski at the plate stays at a 3-0 count. Pitch to Szymanski, up and over his head, ducks out of the way. Not necessarily a hard thing to do, as he is not necessarily the tallest person in stature. And he will make his way over to first base. So speed on the base paths, and Coach Yuskoski is going to make the walk out to the mound, and I believe that will do it most likely for Devin Adams. We'll see what they decide to do. As Adams, again, not necessarily his fault that the score being where it's at when you see those 5 errors popping up onto that side of the board. He's been getting the balls on the ground. He's had the chances at getting outs, but they just have not necessarily fallen into the Cardinals' way. And that will see Coach Yuskoski leaving it up to Devin as he's showing faith in his senior pitcher. And first time Devin has been able to make his way out onto the mound this season. And up to the plate now will come the number 3 hitter in the lineup, Steve Tiersma. Tiersma has reached on an error and also struck out swinging. Struck out his first at-bat on an off-speed pitch that Adams was able to wing by him. And Devin, the righty, will fire a pitch upstairs, lost the handle on that one. And the count goes to 1-0. Looked into the dugout, but also kind of did the sign of, I know what I did wrong on that one, so we'll try and fix it on this return pitch. Top of the third inning, 10-0, nobody out still. Trojans on top and showing that they are very much still going to be a team to beat as the runners will move up on another passed ball. And it'll be a pair of runners in scoring position. Trojans looked back to their coaching staff to see if they were going to advance or not. And moved up the base paths. It's the Trojans looking like they might be calling off the Dogs a little bit here in the top of the third inning with this 10-0 lead. As Devin will set at the chin. Slide step, fires. This one plunks the batter in the back. Steve Tiersma will get a hit by pitch to earn his way on base, and the bases will be full now. And that is going to see a change coming up here as out onto the mound will come Coach Randy Sullivan. And we're going to have a change here as Peyton Lish will be taking off the gear. Devin Adams will be taking a seat, or taking the position behind the plate as the new catcher for the Cardinals. And we'll see who comes in to do the pitching for the Soda Springs team. As there will be several changes coming up, we're going to take a break and get those changes to you. Take a break and come back after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com, as it looks like the new pitcher for the game will be Zach Housley as he will take his spot. Or excuse me, no, it will be Mason Smith who comes in to do the pitching for the Cardinals. Back with the changes after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com with a score at 10-0. Bases full of Trojans in the top of the third inning with nobody out.
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And lead the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
Back here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online on mylocalradio.com. Cardinals trailing 10-0 with the bases loaded as we move and remain in the top of the third. Pitching change coming up as Mason Smith getting his warm-up pitches in. Devin Adams putting on the gear in the dugout, and we'll see how the Cardinals decide to approach this. I'm assuming it may be a straight-up switch with Peyton Lish coming out of the game as he has not returned to the field. And Mason Smith coming in for him as Mason was in on the bench. And Adams will emerge from the dugout. And Peyton Lish looks to be staying in the game with Kyle Dursteller making his way onto the bench. And so Lish will most likely be making the fielding plays over at third base for the Cardinals for the remainder of this one. And coming in will be Mason Smith for Dursteller, the sophomore. Struggling on the day. And talking with the home plate umpire, in this one as he came over to get a quick drink of water on the near side. Both of us continue to agree that, Devin Adams did not pitch terribly in that inning, in that game, in his portion of it. But with 5 errors, there's not a whole lot you can necessarily do when the fielding behind you hasn't been there. As a pitch will miss outside to Ryan Houchins to open things up for Mason Smith. As the tall right-hander will make his way up onto the mound and stares in. Sets at the chest. And a slide step will be sliced into center field. That's going to drop down for a base hit. Runners will move up 1 base each. Throw comes into third base. Kicks off of the leg of the runner. And that is going to result in a man safe on the base paths, as the ball hitting the runner does not result in an out unless it is a batted ball. And the Cardinals go down now 11-0. Ball hitting a runner again is up to the fielder to avoid making the throw at the runner in that case. So staying safe at third base is going to be Bo Zemansky. Steve Tiersma at second. Ryan Houchins stands at first, and in the batter's box, Harrison Niedermeyer, who has reached on an error as he takes a strike there, and the count evens at 1-1. Reached on an error and also reached on a walk and has come around to score 2 runs. As Smith will again set at the chest, kicks, fires. This one laced over the head of Zach Housley. Another single that is going to bounce into center field, and station to station go the Nampa Trojans, and another base knock for Harrison Niedermeyer, his first. Up to third base goes Tiersma. Coming home and scoring comes Bo Zemansky, and Niedermeyer will take his place on first base. Makes the score 12-0. And Smith will again look to deliver. Sets, fires. This one upstairs at the letters, but high. And the count goes to 1-0. Lex King at the plate now. Has a single and a walk, 1 for 1 officially. As Smith will fire. This one's going to be a base knock as well. Just little singles being looped out there into left center field. And again, station to station ball just being played by the Trojans as these singles just moving the carousel around the infield, and it's been quite a ride for the Trojans to this point in time. And that'll bring Brandon Mullins up to the plate, who's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. 8 hits now for the Nampa Trojans in this game, as they lead 13-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. And Mason Smith fires a pitch off the outside corner, taken for a ball, scooped up by Devin Adams behind home plate, as he'll sink into the crouch. Cardinals had a very long layoff between their time out there in the game, as Mason now misses with this one. And talking with them, count 2-0 by the way, some fatigue. Went and spent the afternoon over at the Three Island State Park. As a pitch will go past Mason Smith into second base. Nobody's going to move up for the runners. Count to 3-0 now to Brandon Mullins. And Coach Uskoski as well as Coach Sullivan, they told me they were somewhat nervous that the players might have worn themselves out during their time over at the park. As this is a pitch for a strike straight down the middle of the plate, and the count goes to 3-1. Sorry. 3-1 count, nobody out still here in the top of the third inning. 4 runs already across, and this pitch inside, and that'll be ball 4 as a run will be walked home now. And the parade across the base paths continue as nobody still retired. 8 straight batters to the plate with nobody being set down. As that will bring up the pitcher Tyler McConnell, and he takes a pitch high for ball 1. "14 runs in 2 innings for the Nampa Trojans. This was after the Cardinals had a 0 put up onto the board in the first inning. It was a very productive first inning for the Cardinals defensively. Pair of strikeouts for Devin Adams. As this ball is going to be lifted in left center or left field, and Allen's not going to be able to get to it. Overruns the baseball, and another single will make it 9 straight hits for the Trojans now as the Cardinals on the baseball field continue to struggle to get anybody out. And just little pokes here and there out of the reach of the infielders and right in front of the outfielders have been resulting in base hits, and the outfield starting to creep in a little bit to close some of that gap off. Bases still chock full of Trojans. Now a ball swung on and missed. And at the plate, Bryce Aslan, who started this inning with a single, will stay in the left-handed batter's box to try and keep it going. He'll take another pitch, this one off the outside corner. He's 1 for 2, reached on an error and walked, or single as well, I should say, and has scored a pair of the 15 runs. Now a chance to get himself an RBI. And this one upstairs and outside as well, and the count goes to 2-1. Smith once again sets, winds to the plate, fires. This one fouled up and over the press box. And the count goes to 2-2. And Mason Smith will once again step up to the rubber. And again, fatigue possibly one of the big factors here that has been a problem for the Cardinals in this game. Has strike 3 called now. Mason Smith gets in the first out of the game on a strike looking on the outside corner. And the first out of the inning is recorded. And coming up to the plate will be a pinch hitter as Nick Tuttle's day is done, as he will be replaced in the game by Jack Castledine, a sophomore who flares a first pitch up and foul over towards the corner in the fence, and unfortunately not enough room for Braxton Kellen to make a run over to that area without having to look for the fence, and it drops harmlessly to the ground. And it's an 0-1 count to Castledine. So with Castledine at the plate, he'll try and get his first knock, and he's going to bounce one past third base, picked up by Housley. No play for the shortstop as he'll throw it back to second base, but everybody's safe on an infield single. And the runners continue to move along the base paths as another run comes across to score, make it 16 on the 10th hit of the inning for the Trojans, or 10th hit of the game, I should say, for the Trojans, 5th of the inning for the Trojans. They've had a hit batsman, 1 error, a walk, 2 walks, and 5 base knocks, and make it another one as this pitch off the plate, and another ball will be called. 1-0 your count, 1 out, top of the 3rd inning, 16-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard here on KBRV 800 The Bear, and online at mylocalradio.com. Thanks a lot for sticking around with us. This game just about an hour old, as Mason misses with another pitch off the outside corner of the plate, and the count goes to 2-0. Cardinal softball team acting like the cheerleaders today, trying to keep the spirits up for the baseball team in this game, as this pitch fouled off over the screen, and the count goes to 2-1. Softball team has had the struggles themselves this year, and they're 0-3 at today's tournament, or this year's tournament at Glens Ferry, 0-8 on the season. They had a very impressive battle in their last game as another foul ball, this one off to the screen. And the count will go to 1-2 to the batter. As this, a new replacement for Zemansky as well. As I look out there, Hunter Bullock getting his first appearance, and he flares another one foul, putting up a fight at the plate. And Mason will look in once again. 2-2 count, 1 out here, top of the 3rd inning. Cardinals looking to escape this one as that pitch upstairs and away. Count goes to 3-2 now. And Mason Smith will kick and fire that one. A late shot off the fence on the left side. And it will remain a 3-2 count with the 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Good battle between these two out there on the mound. And at the plate, Hunter Bullock looking to get his first hit of the game. And he will pop one up. This one foul just past the bleachers here, and we'll do another one. 10 pitches now in the at-bat coming up. I should say 9 officially in the at-bat with a 10th coming on its way. As a very long third inning of play here for these two teams. Cardinals still looking for 2 outs as this pitch flared out into center field. Chris Lloyd backing up on this one, able to track it down, falls to the ground. And the Trojan runners will hold where they're at. And the out is recorded. Good job by Chris after coming in a step. He misjudged the ball at first, but was able to retreat on it and snare the ball for an out, as now we will have another, I believe, pinch hitter. And this time it will be number 18. As Tyler Black will get his first AB of the game. With 2 outs in the top of the third inning. 16-0, Cardinals down on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. And Mason Smith will wind and fire. This ball grounded over towards third. It's going to get to Housley, picks it up, fires to second. Nobody home, though, over the head. And everybody's going to retreat back as station-to-station ball. We'll see the game continue. E6 on the play for the Cardinals, and everybody goes up one more base. And another run comes across to score, making it 17-0. And up to the plate, Ryan Hochins, another pinch hitter as this ball gets past Devin Adams at the plate. Up to the dish now is going to be John Clapier, as he will step in. Trojans clearing their bench right now. Again, you could tell a little while ago that they had pulled off the Dogs, as they had stopped pushing runners around the base paths at about the 12-0 mark. And this pitch inside. And a hit batsman now will put another runner across the plate, and it makes it 18. Back-to-back 9-run innings now for the Trojans, and means all of 14 batters have come to the plate, and this will make it 15 with Harrison Niedermeyer stepping up to the plate. And Niedermeyer is actually going to be replaced as well, as this is Luke Tuttle, who came in to run for him, I believe. And he will take a pitch upstairs at the chest. And the count goes to 2-0 now on the center fielder, who is a freshman. So Tuttle gets his first chance out in the field. And a pitch now misses once again, 3-0 to Tuttle. 18-0 again here on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Still third inning in the top of the frame. Cardinals struggling through this inning, much like they struggled through the last inning. And a pitch upstairs again. That'll be another walk, and another run will come home to score. And the parade of Trojans continues with the 16th batter of the inning coming up. And this one will remain Lex King. 2 for 2 on the day, has a walk in the game as well. King, a junior, will swing, nubs one towards third, picked up and thrown to second base the short way, and the out finally recorded as Jaron Johnson steps on the bag. 5-3 or 5-4 for the putout, and the Cardinals give up 10 runs in the inning, but they get out of it and will move on to the bottom of the third with the score sitting at 19-0. Cardinals down to the NAMPA Christian Trojans on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Agrium's mission is to help feed the world responsibly. A world of 7 billion people, growing to 9 billion by 2050. Agrium helps farmers meet this increasing demand by supplying the nutrients and products needed to grow healthy crops, which provides communities with food and income, leading to more investment in health, education, and infrastructure, while protecting the environment for future generations. Agrium, feeding the world responsibly.
Cardinals offense getting a chance to come up to the plate as they will continue to face Tyler McConnell, the junior, still out on the mound for the Trojans. As he has pitched a no-hitter to this point in time, has given up a pair of walks, and he is going to face these 8, 9, and 1 hitters, I should say, for the Soda Springs Cardinals. It'll be Peyton Lish, who I believe was replaced in the game by Mason Smith, Chris Lloyd, and Zach Housley making their way up to the batter's box today in this back half. And excuse me, it will remain Peyton Lish's. They will have him hitting as the DH for the Cardinals. And Lish will step towards the plate. Has a quick chat with head coach Jeff Yuskoski. And for the Cardinals, I'm sure right now it's just, get yourself some momentum. You have another game tomorrow. You can't let this loss be something that takes you out of the game tomorrow when you have to take on a Prairie team that gave the Malad Dragons a fairly good contest as a ball grounded by Lish on the first hit to the shortstop, up with it, and on to first base is Castledine. When Lish is recorded and out on the first pitch he sees. I'll see Christopher Lloyd coming up to the plate now. Chris yet to have an at-bat in this game, in the first game of the day for Lloyd. He ended up with a single, went 1 for 1, had 2 runs and 2 RBIs, and here he takes a first pitch for a ball and gets ahead in the count 1-0. Lloyd has become a consistent presence in the 9-hole, and for some people they might take that as a snub, but for Lloyd there's no way that you can take that as a snub, as he is responsible for turning the lineup over, and he's done a very good job of it. As this pitch misses outside as well, count goes to 3-0. And a chance for Lloyd to get on base with 1 out. Some speed as well if he can get on base, as this pitch in the middle of the zone, taken for a strike. Count goes to 3-1. And McConnell will fire again. That pitch on the inside corner. Count goes to 3-2. Full count to Chris Lloyd here. Payoff pitch on the way as the clock moves to 5:38, and this pitch bounced up to home plate, so Lloyd will make his way on base. That's the 3rd walk of the game that the Cardinals have been able to get. When they've been patient at the plate, they've been able to work themselves on base. But one of the problems that they've had is too many first pitch outs and too many quick at-bats against McConnell. They haven't made him work at the plate as this pitch off the outside corner. McConnell has shown the ability to have some speed, but his accuracy has been, well, it hasn't been bad. I mean, he's been around the plate. But it has not necessarily been every pitch is a strike, as Zach Housley ducks out of the way of one error's helmet. And the count moves to 2-0. And again, when the Cardinals have been patient, they've been able to get walks. But the problem is they've only had 3 at-bats now make it past 4 pitches. And this pitch upstairs and outside as well. Count goes to 3-0. And of course, if you want to earn a walk, you got to take at least 4 pitches to get on base. So patience could be a virtue for the Cardinals that I think they were trying to be aggressive, come out, put a spot onto the board. But right now, with the game where it's at, get back into your normal zone. And as Housley earns himself a walk with a pitch off the outside corner, Cardinals put runners on first and second. And Devin Adams, who has been moved into the catcher spot, will get his chance to come up to the plate. Another right-handed batter for the Cardinals. Started out as the pitcher and again did not do a terrible job on the mound, but the mistakes in the field behind him cost him and the Cardinals some runs in the first 2 innings. 19-0 your score on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard as Adams' first pitch swinging flares went out. That's going to be in between the right fielder and the second baseman. It's put away by the right fielder as into right field is Clapier. And the second out is recorded in the inning as Braxton Kellen will step up to the plate. He reached on a walk his first time up and will be hoping to do something similar this time. On deck, Mason Smith swinging the bat as he replaces Kyle Dursteller in the lineup. Runners on first and second for the Cardinals. First pitch well upstairs to Kellen, and he takes it for ball 1. 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd. Coming up next will be our Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier 4th inning, so stick around for that. as a strike on the outside corner will move the count to 1-1. Assume Mason Smith will be back out there to continue his work in the top of the 4th inning. And McConnell checks the runner at second, and a ball popped up behind home plate. King gets to it, puts it away, and the out is recorded. As the Cardinals put runners on base first and second, but they can't do anything with them as they go down without putting any more runs onto the board. We head to the top of the 4th inning. Your Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier 4th inning on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
Hey, America, we need to have a little talk. We've got a lot of food in this country. We've got so much food that we can't eat it all. So how are 17 million kids in America struggling with hunger? That's why the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks gathers surplus food and gets it to hungry kids who need it. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Back here in the start of inning number 4 as Mason Smith back out onto the mound with Brandon Mullins coming up to the plate. He'll ground one to second. Tough hop for Housley. Made the adjustment. Strong throw on to first. There's a play for the Cardinals to come back out of the dugout on is Zach Housley. A tough hop. Hit the lip of the grass on the far side of the infield. A bounce that came up near his head. Got the glove up in time and made the throw to first base and got the first out of the inning. And the Cardinals will look to try and build on that as the next pitch comes to Tyler McConnell at the plate. That one upstairs and away, and it goes to a 1-0 count. With one out, again, top of the 4th inning, 19-0. And for the Cardinals, you got to treat this like a 0-0 ball game at this point in time because you're not going to be able to come back into this game. You just want to be able to win the back half, win the final inning. Give yourselves some momentum because you do have another game coming up after this one. Prairie coming up next. Tomorrow morning, we'll be on the air at 8:30 with our pregame show, and the ball now flared out into left center field. Chris Lloyd able to get there, tracks it down, and the Cardinals center fielder puts away the out. And 2 quick outs for the Cardinals now. 2 outs, and coming up, the number 9 hitter, Bryce Asselin, will step in. And the right-handed batter will stare out to Mason Smith. And you got to remember, the other thing to think about with these batters is, yes, they're in the bottom of the order, but these are not the substitutions that were made by NAMPA Christian. These are the starters that they had in there. After this, it will flip back over to those substitutions that they made, but these, again, are your starters for the Trojans. Starting first baseman, starting left fielder, starting pitcher. On deck, however, the backup shortstop, Castledine, will look for his second at bat of the game, but right now Asselin swings and cuts through another pitch. Count goes to 1-2. And the first baseman for the Trojans will step back into the box once again. Left-hander against the right-handed Mason Smith, who fires a dart, swung on and missed, and the count will go to 3 strikes. Side retired. 1-2-3 inning for the Cardinals, their first of the game. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, brought to you by Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
Bear Lake Drug, located at 836 Washington Street in Montpelier, not only has everything you need to get better quick, but we also carry a great selection of durable medical equipment to purchase or rent as we assist you in your recovery. And while you're here, check out our large selection of gift items. Call us to fill your prescriptions today at 208-847-1421. That's 847-1421. Bear Lake Drug, the small town pharmacy that gives you world-class service.
Bottom of inning number 4 on the way as the Soda Springs Cardinals step up to the plate. It'll be their 4, 5, and 6 batters coming up. As leading things off is Mason Smith, who takes a first pitch strike from the continued starter from the Nampa Christian Trojans, Tyler McConnell, out on the mound. And the Cardinals will get a first base runner of this inning. Leadoff man on base after Mason Smith takes a pitch. And a quick meeting will have King jogging out to the mound as Jaron Johnson will get his chance to step into the batter's box. Bottom of the 4th inning being brought to you by Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier. And with the score at 19-0 on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard, the Cardinals again, after getting a 1-2-3 inning in the last frame, trying to build on that. With Johnson stepping into the right-handed batter's box. Jeff Yuskoski gives him the call from the third base coach's box. And this pitch swung on and missed, and the count goes to 0-1 to Johnson at the plate. Last time up, he grounded out to second base weakly. Play that was made by the former second baseman, Bo Szymanski. Now over at second base is Hunter Bullock. This pitch misses upstairs and outside, and the count goes to 1-1. Nobody out. Runner on first base is Mason Smith. Or excuse me, I believe a pinch runner for the Soda Springs Cardinals has taken his place over at second base. And taking off is that pinch runner. Get a name for you on who that is in a moment. As that is Case Griffiths, who gets up to second base on a pass ball, and the count goes to 2-1. And the Cardinals have a runner in scoring position trying to crack the scoreboard here against the Trojans in the final game of the day. This pitch upstairs and in. Johnson bends out of the way, and the count to 3-1 now. And again, the patience for the Cardinals. When they've shown the patience, they've had some success here against the Trojan starting pitcher in McConnell. He'll stretch to the plate. This one upstairs and in again, and it is a 5-pitch walk. And the Cardinals have runners on first and second with nobody out. And that'll see Kobe Allen jogging to the plate. He walked his first time up on 4 straight pitches. Cardinals 5 base runners in the game so far. 6 base runners in the game so far. 1 cut down. And the first pitch to Allen, laced down the right field line. Just couldn't straighten it out enough. And the Cardinals searching for their first hit against McConnell on the mound. As the big righties walks back on top of the circle once again. Sets just offsetting the feet, working from the right side of the rubber. And he'll have another ball bounced off the inside of the handle of the bat, and Allen will see the count go to 0-2. He's got the timing down. Just needs to straighten out the hits. And McConnell will stare in once again. Comes set, glove near the head, kicks the left leg, and this one grounded foul down the third base line. And Yuhoski with a fadeaway throw right to the hands of the pitcher McConnell. Yuskoski showing that he still has the moves out at third base in the coach's box. Flashes the sign to the players. 0-2 count to Kobe Allen. 4th pitch of the at-bat coming up, and this one bounced up to the plate. Ball in the dirt. Runners will hold where they're at. And it goes to a 1-2 count. So 1-2 your count. And McConnell's pitch up and behind the head of Allen. And McConnell, after finding the zone for 3 straight pitches, missing badly on his last 2. And a battle starting to form between these two. As he will set at the head again. And now a little flare is going to get out to the first baseman, stabbing it into the air and throwing back to second base to complete the double play for the first 2 outs is Bryce Aslan. An extremely athletic play working to his right. The lefty stuck out the glove, got the ball, and leaking off of second base and being cut down was Case Griffiths. And the Cardinals, after having a golden opportunity, will line themselves out of a double play on a 3-6 putout. So with a runner on first base now, Taylor Adams will step into the plate, and he takes a first pitch for a ball inside. On first base, Jaron Johnson remains. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th inning with the score at 19-0 here in the Glenns Ferry Tournament at Pilot Field. And Adams will swing at a pitch outside and away as he steps back out of the box before adjusting, gets back in, hikes up the pants a little bit, and with all the weight on his back foot will look to unload on one. And this pitch off the inside corner, and the count moves to 2-1. Patience paying dividends for Taylor Adams at the plate. Peyton Lish on deck, looking for his second plate appearance. He ended up grounding out to short his first time up. And McConnell will look in, and this pitch upstairs, and Adams able to hold the bat back. Flinched a little bit on it, but did not go chasing the high cheese. And the count goes to 3-1. 2 outs again. Runner on first base. Cardinals looking to move somebody across and get a run onto the board. As this pitch down the heart of the plate. Good comeback pitch from McConnell, and the count to 3-2. Full count. Runner should be going. And Coach Sullivan in the first base box reminding that to Jaron Johnson. And Johnson takes off on first movement. Pitch to the plate. Fouled off and spoiled. Good hack there by Taylor Adams to keep himself alive in the batter's box. And he will get back into the plate once again. Flips the bat around a couple of times. And gets into the left-handed box once again. 3-2. Runner goes. Ball grounded back to the pitcher. Up with it, McConnell. He flips it on over to first base. Aslan puts it away, and the Cardinals threaten but can't score once again. They've had base runners in every inning so far against the Trojans, but have not been able to crack the scoreboard. And we head to the top of the 5th inning, 19-0. The Cardinals trailing on the Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Mason Smith jogs out to the mound for another inning work on your home for Cardinal Sports. Coming up next, it's your Kelly Wells for County Sheriff 5th inning on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
Back here on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. The Soda Springs Cardinals moving to the top of the 5th inning, trailing 19-0 against the Nampa Christian Trojans as they look to try and find themselves a little bit of a groove and get themselves a little bit of a boost as they continue to move on here. About 35 minutes left of gameplay if it goes to the 2-hour mark. But if it ends up stopping there, then it will most likely end up just going to the 10-run rule at the end of this inning. Cardinals will get another full inning, and out onto the mound, as I said, Mason Smith will be facing the top of the order as it will be Jack Castledine taking a first pitch for a ball from Mason Smith. And the second pitch from Smith is taken for a ball as well, and the count goes to 2-0. Cardinals have recorded a strikeout in all but one inning. 4 strikeouts in this game as a pitching staff, and there's a strike from Mason Smith. And now a ball is going to be lined over into the left field corner. That'll run a long ways as Kobe Allen has to chase it down into the corner. Picks the ball up, jogging to second base and holding up there as the throw comes in is the top of the order in Jack Castledine as he gets a leadoff double to open up the game, or open up the top of the 5th inning, the 11th hit of the ball game for the Trojans of Nampa Christian. And that will bring up Hunter Bullock. Last time up for Bullock, he ended up flying out to the center fielder, Chris Lloyd, and here takes a pitch well off the plate. And the count will go to 1-0. While we're here, as this ball bounced up the middle, Housley right there for it, and he goes over to his right, throws on to first, gets the out there. The runner does advance up to third base on the play, but it's a 6-3 put out. Housley comes up with the ball, and the Cardinals get the first out of the inning, and that will bring up Tyler Black, the new third baseman for the Trojans. As he looks over to the third base coaching box, Mason Smith will back up. Cardinals track and field was in action earlier this week. We gave you some of the results as they hosted a meet against several of the Cardinals and several other schools, North Gem and West Side there in a tri-meet. Several other ones like Water Springs involved in this as well, as Rockland made a trip down. And a pitch will miss here as the count goes to 2-0 now to Black at the plate. Mason Smith trying to get an out here while the runner stays at third base. A couple of the results that we didn't talk about. The hurdlers saw Dallin Lloyd as this pitch misses as well, count to 3-0. Dallin Lloyd ended up sweeping the hurdles, won the 110 hurdles over Branson Hatch of Westside and Grant Clegg of Soda Springs, and also won the strike poured in over the plate, won the 300-meter hurdles over Wyatt Smith, almost a full second over Wyatt Smith. Aaron Torgeson ended up coming in third with Grant Clegg in fourth place in that one as the ball bounced over too short. Up with it is the body and out called at first base as a strong throw from the infield grass, or from the outfield grass, comes from Zach Housley to record the second straight out. Runner holds at third, and John Clapier will step up into the right-handed batter's box now with 2 outs. Cardinals looking for another out to record here as that pitch misses, and the count goes to 1-0. Other results on the girls' side in the hurdles. As this ball is going to be bounced over to third, up with it, Peyton Lish. Strong throw on to first, not in time, and it'll be an infield single. We'll see what they call it. Actually, they're going to call that an error on the scoreboard. Speedy runner, but gets the benefit of the doubt. 20-0 now here in the top of the 5th inning with 2 outs. And the first pitch to Tuttle is upstairs for a ball. In the girls' hurdles, not a ton of participants. Soda Springs fell to Westside, and both Brianna Lind of Westside ended up taking both first places as another pitch misses. And the 4x100, the Cardinals the only team that fielded a relay. They ended up with a time under a minute, 55.1 seconds for the Cardinals of Casey Smith, Jordan Neff, as this ball bounced over to third base, picked up, and Peyton Lish again on to first, will fire it to Braxton Kellen, and the out is recorded. Back to that, Leilani Finlayson and Ariana Finlayson in that 400x100 relay. Here we head to the bottom of the 5th, Cardinals down 20-0, final frame of this one as we will come back. This is your Kelly Wells for County Sheriff 5th inning. Bought and paid for by Kelly Wells. He wants you to vote for leadership, vote for integrity, knowledge, and excellence. Elect Kelly Wells for Caribou County Sheriff. Back after this on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Hello, I'm Kelly Wells and I'm running for Caribou County Sheriff. I grew up in Soda Springs and enjoyed all that Caribou County has to offer. I served in the United States Marine Corps and I have over 24 years of law enforcement experience, and I am a graduate of the FBI National Academy. I believe in servant leadership, building strong community partnerships, professionalism through training, service-oriented enforcement, and having a fair, friendly, and honest staff. Thank you, and I appreciate your vote on May 17th. Paid for by Kelly Wells for Sheriff.
Cardinals coming up to bat here in the bottom of the 5th inning, trailing 20-0 to the Nampa Christian Trojans, as they continue to see success on the field. Do the Trojans, defending state champions, will be facing off against 8-9-1 for the Soda Springs Cardinals. Peyton Lish will be leading things off. After that, Chris Lloyd will get a swing, and Zach Housley will follow him up to the batter's box to lead things off, as Coach Yuskoski will trade places with Randy Sullivan, as Coach Sullivan takes the third base box, and he'll watch as Peyton Lish takes the first pitch strike from McConnell, goes into his 5th inning of work, still pitching for a no-hitter. Yet to give up a run, yet to give up a hit, and no errors in the field behind him as Nampa Christian continues to play clean baseball. McConnell stares in, works from the windup, and this pitch swung on and missed. Lish chasing one outside of the zone, and the count goes to 0-2. Cardinals trying to find something here. Bottom of this inning, here at Pilot Field. And McConnell will fire, popped up. This one's going to be just over the screen. And a missed catch by the hat of one of the fans watching. And the count stays at 0-2. 0-2, nobody out here, bottom of the 5th inning. Cardinals with their last at-bats of this game. And McConnell will go into the windup and bounces one to the plate. Good block behind home plate, though, by King. Keeps it in front of him. Nobody on base, so it wasn't going to matter whether it got behind or not, but good practice for the catcher there of sliding over and catching it in the protector. 1-2. And the 1-2 pitch flared out into center field, coming in on that one and making the play. Good adjustment made by Tuttle, and the out is recorded by the new center fielder for the Trojans. And that will bring up Christopher Lloyd. Still no strikeouts. The Cardinals at the plate, putting the ball in play, something that will do them well as they continue on through the season. Goal for this team to make state. And in District 5, that's not going to be an easy challenge with Bear Lake and Molad to get through, as the first pitch now to Chris Lloyd, who was able to reach on his walk, will be missing for a ball. Chris did not get retired in the first game that the Cardinals played today. And looking to do that again as he takes a pitch and with, I believe, a 1-1 count, this pitch will catch the zone, and the count goes to 1-1. Officially on the scoreboard. McConnell again stares in. This pitch inside. 2-1. 3-1, excuse me. Thought I was missing a pitch. And this one down the heart of the plate fills the count full. 3-2, back-to-back full counts now that Chris Lloyd has faced. As McConnell stares in. Works into the windup, and this pitch swung on, just fouled. Good job spoiling it by Lloyd to keep himself alive at home plate. The count stays at 3-2. And Lloyd will stare back out to McConnell once again, who works into the windup and fires this pitch. A ground ball over to short, picked up on a good hop, and the bounce is over to the first baseman, as this time making the play is Castledine. From his shortstop hole, throws on to Asseline. And the out goes 6-3, and the Cardinals' last batter could be Zach Housley, trying to keep this game going. Keep the Soda fans here with something to hope for, getting a run across. Being shut out right now, 20-0, as this pitch on the outside corner will be taken for a strike. And Housley, who is 0 for 1 with a walk in today's game, will now pop one up over on the right side. Aslan goes over, and that one's going to just clear over the fence. And the count will go to 0-2. And the last strike for the Cardinals on the way. Possibly. Into the windup goes McCollum. Takes a pitch on the outside, does Housley, and keeps himself alive. Good patience being shown. Tough to be patient this late in the game when you're trying to get something going for your team. And Housley doing a good job showing it there. And this pitch inside, that'll plunk him on the left shoulder. And he is going to take a trip down to first base, and the Cardinals get another runner on, and that gives them a runner on base in every inning, despite not getting a hit. And now King heads out to the mound to talk with Tyler McConnell, as they have a quick conversation with Devin Adams coming up to the plate, who looks down to the third base coaching box, and after wiping some dirt on his hands and his gloves, step into the right-handed batter's box. Adams so far 0 for 2 with a pair of pop-outs and a flyout. And this ball bounced up. That will keep Housley at first base. Did not advance on the throw or on the ball in the dirt. King got to it quickly behind home plate, and he'll step back to the catcher's box behind the dish, get into the crouch, and we'll do a 1-0 delivery now to Devin Adams, trying to give himself another hit. Went 1 for 4 in the first game today. Housley takes a lead, and count goes to 2-0 as the ball misses up high to Devin Adams. On deck, Braxton Kellen. Strong bat, somewhat inconsistent, but definitely has the power to do something if we can get him up to the plate. And now Adams is going to foul the ball off down the right side. That one's going to get out of play, and the count goes to 2-1. Last bats for the Cardinals in this game as the bottom of the fifth with the 10-run rule set to come in place. Cardinals gave up a 9 spot in the top of the second, a 10 spot in the top of the third. Since then, only 1 run in the last 2 innings. And McCulloch will have Adams foul another ball off. This one deep down the right field line. That one's going to, again, get over the fence that borders the field, and we'll have another opportunity. 2-2 count now to the Cardinal senior. Deuce is wild. 2 outs in the inning as well. Runner leads off of first is Zach Housley. Keep a good eye. Don't get chasey if you're Devin Adams. As this ball inside and upstairs, and the count goes 3-2. Very good eye by the Cardinal senior. Backs out, and he'll step back into the box once again. Full count. Runner should be off on the pitch as Housley leads off. He'll take off on the pitch, and this one fouled off to the plate. Another good fight by Housley there. And that will make it a 7-pitch at bat now, with 1 more set to come from McConnell on the mound as Adams takes time at the plate. McConnell steps back. 3-2 count. 2 outs, bottom of the fifth. Cardinals down by more than 10. We'll call it that. McConnell into the windup. This one bounced right back to him, and fittingly, McConnell gets the ball to him, and he will finish the no-hitter himself as he throws this one onto first base, and the game and out are recorded. 20-0 Cardinals fall in this one as they cannot quite crack the scoreboard, as the final line score 20 runs for the NAMPA Trojans, 11 hits with no errors, and for the Cardinals, no runs, no hits, and 7 errors in the ball game. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have our post-game show coming your way. This has been your 5th inning, paid for by Kelly Wells for County Sheriff. For professionalism through training, community partnerships, and service-oriented enforcement, elect Kelly Wells for Caribou County Sheriff. Like his Facebook page at Kelly Wells for Sheriff, and love his innovative leadership. Back after this with our post-game show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
Hi, this is Terry Crews, actor, former football player, and father of 5. I'm also an expert on drama. There's the good kind that comes with having a house full of kids, and there's silly drama like the drama around my percolating pectorals. And then there's the drama you can skip.
Skip the drama that comes with not having your high school diploma or equivalency. Find free adult education classes near you and finish your diploma. Visit finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org.
And leave the drama to actors like me.
Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ed Council.
One more break coming your way as we continue to work our way towards the post-game show. And actually, we'll just jump right into our post-game show right now as we wrap this one up. Cardinals falling 20-0 to the NAMPA Christian Trojans. In a final look at their score, Devin Adams got roughed up in his appearances out on the mound and made it through the second inning, but could not make it through the first 4 batters of the third inning, as he was replaced by Mason Smith. Mason came in and ended up giving up 8 runs in his time on the mound, did settle down and was able to record 6 outs in the last 2 innings with only giving up 1 run. Did struggle as well in the third inning where the Cardinals gave up 10 runs in their time out there on the mound. As far as batting for the Cardinals, Zach Housley ended up going 0 for 1, did reach base a pair of times. Devin Adams 0 for 3. Braxton Kellen went 0 for 1, did reach base with a walk. Mason Smith ended up reaching on a hit by pitch as he replaced Kyle Dursteller, who ended up lining out in his play in the second inning. Jaron Johnson 0 for 1 with a walk. Kobe Allen 0 for 1 with a walk. Taylor Adams 0 for 2 in the game. Peyton Lish went 0 for 2 as well. And Christopher Lloyd 0 for 1 with a walk as well. As the Cardinals did do a good job putting the ball in play, but could not quite do enough to get themselves across the scoreboard, falling by a final score in this one again of 20-0. That is your post-game report brought to you by the Soda Springs Galleria and Emporium, located next to the Eidenhoff Theater, where you can find gourmet fudge and truffles, postcards of iconic sites in Caribou County, luxurious homemade soaps and bath crystals, as well as customized artwork. Back with more after this on our post-game show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Agrium's mission is to help feed the world responsibly. A world of 7 billion people, growing to 9 billion by 2050. Agrium helps farmers meet this increasing demand by supplying the nutrients and products needed to grow healthy crops, which provides communities with food and income, leading to more investment in health, education, and infrastructure, while protecting the environment for future generations. Agrium, feeding the world responsibly.
MyLocalRadio.com is Southwest Wyoming and Northeast Utah's top website and the best source for local area news, weather, sports, and community events. And that's not all. MyLocalRadio.com features thousands of photographs of Wyoming and Utah high school events, from speech and drama competitions to local events, sports and activities, and much more. Check it out today and see what MyLocalRadio.com has for you. One stop and get everything on your list. Gas, groceries, fresh deli items, lottery tickets, and all your fish and game licenses. Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs is locally owned and open 7 days a week. You can check the daily lunch specials every Monday through Friday on the Patterson Quick Stop Facebook page. When you need it quick, get it at Patterson Quick Stop in Soda Springs, 111 North Hooper. Go Cardinals!
Whether or not you like winter, winter is upon us. There has never been a better time to convert to natural gas. Make this winter more comfortable and warm with a natural gas Lennox furnace from Reed's Plumbing and Heating in Soda Springs. The temperature outside doesn't matter. Keep your family cozy for years to come. For a new natural gas furnace, service on your existing furnace, or an in-home consultation, visit Reed's Plumbing and Heating today. 180 South 3rd East, next to the overpass. Reed's Plumbing and Heating. Natural gas worth asking for.
Next to the Eidenhoff Theater in Soda Springs, Idaho, lies a lovely gift and art shop called Caribou Jack's Galleria and Emporium. It features local artists Wade Craven and Sandy Fugate, as well as other locally made items like homemade soaps and bath crystals by Julie Branson. And who can resist gourmet fudge and truffles by Jade Rainey? While you're there, put a gift basket together for a favorite someone that will put them over the moon. Top it off with a postcard featuring local iconic sites such as the Eastman Fire Truck and, of course, our famous geyser. All are produced by local photographer Kim Miller. That's me. That's Caribou Jack's Galleria and Emporium in Soda Springs, next to the Idaho Theater.
April showers bring May flowers. Join nature in renewing the beauty around us by sprucing up your home this month. Contact Terry at Sanders Furniture and Appliance and get a free estimate on adding new floor covering throughout your home. They also have floor covers, vacuum cleaners, carpet cleaners, free belts and bags, and offer free carpet shampoo. See the store for details. And while you're in there, be sure to check out the fabulous inventory and rebates on Maytag, Whirlpool, GE, Crosley, Amana, KitchenAid, and Speed Queen appliances. That's Sanders Furniture and Appliance in Soda Springs, located across from the Caribou County Courthouse.
This is the sound of salmonella gyrating on your undercooked chicken. And it looks like Mom might be taking it out a little early. Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. So use a thermometer to cook each type of meat to the right temperature. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov. Brought to you by the USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
Welcome back out to the home of the Glens Ferry Woodbat Baseball Tournament. Cardinals falling by a final score of 20-0 in today's ball game. And we've been giving you updates from what happened yesterday with the track and field events. And we had a chance to sit down with the pole vaulting coach for the Soda Springs Cardinals and several of the Cardinal pole vaulters participating. Justice Balls, Naomi Young, and Shelby Miller all jumping to 6 feet in their participation in the pole vaulting event. And on the boys' side, Matthew Daniel for Soda Springs ended up taking home the win with a jump of 8 feet 6 inches, and the rest of the Cardinals did not end up qualifying in that one. Hiram Brown was not able to get a height. That is one of the big focuses for the Cardinals. We had a chance to sit down with the pole vaulting coach for the Cardinals, Alan Erickson. Sat down and talked with us on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com.
Caleb Berggraf here, joined with one of the assistant coaches for the Soda Springs track team, actually the pole vaulting coach for the track team, and Alan Erickson. And Alan, when you think about where the pole vaulting team is right now this year, what are your thoughts on the kids that you have and the people that you've lined up for it?
Well, we've got some new freshmen in here working on it, and pole vaulting is a very technical sport. Normally it takes a couple years for these kids to get up to speed with it, but we've got some girls that are, second year, and they're coming along. We're working on bending their poles, and that's always a scary thing when your pole starts bending. It kind of freaks you out a little bit, so we're working on that. Well, on the boys' side, we've got Hiram Brown, that was a 12-foot vaulter last year. We got him on a new pole this year. It's a big, heavy pole. It's going to take a while to get him accustomed to it. Hiram's a big kid, so it takes a little bit of work on that part, but Hiram should be a contender in district. Hopefully we'll have a couple more of our kids up to speed. Fortunately this year in district, there's only a couple of really good pole vaulters, a bunch of young ones, so we got 3 spots that go to state, and hopefully we can get a couple of them, so that's what we're shooting for. On our girls side, I think I was really pleased with a couple of our girl vaulters tonight. They were bending their pole, and it's always funny watching the girls. When the pole bends, they scream. But it's an exciting thing to see happen, to see these kids progress, and so we're working on that. We have a lot. We've probably got 12, 15 vaulters between girls and boys, and that's a lot. You're looking for runway time, and when you have that many kids, it's hard to get them all through, so we might have some late nights out here.
I know that you and I had been talking earlier before in one of our other interviews about not having necessarily a ton of kids that got interested in the pole vault. It wasn't necessarily one of those flashy, everybody knows about it type of events in high school track and field. Does it excite you as far as where the program is going to have multiple kids coming out for it and more than you're used to?
Oh, absolutely. You never know what diamond in the rough is out there. Like I said, pole vaulting is a very technical sport. I think it's probably one of the top 5 most difficult sports to master. Most high school kids, if they start as a freshman, it takes them until they're senior. Usually their junior year, they start trying to figure it out a little bit. But I'm excited about numbers because, like I said, you just don't know who is going to pick it up. I've had a few kids as freshmen pick it right up there, but it's pretty rare to have that happen.
We'll wrap it up with one final question for you, Coach. And the expectations in the early meets, where do you expect to see the growth come from, and how high do you expect to see some of your more mature jumpers getting to by the time the middle of the season rolls around?
On the girls' side, I probably got the 8-foot to 9-foot mark that we're looking to reach this year. I have 2 juniors, couple sophomores, 2 or 3 freshmen. So I'm looking to get a couple of them up into that 8-foot to 9-foot level. That should get them to state if they can get there. On the boys' side, of course, Hiram, he was a 12-foot vaulter last year. We got him on this new pole. See if that'll work out for him. He should be... I think he has the potential to be a contender for a state podium, 1 through 6. I think he could be there. I've got a couple other kids I think we can get into the 11 to 12-foot range this year.
Coach, that's always good news to hear, and anytime that a small school can get a kid on the podium when it comes to pole vaulting is good news. So, Coach, we'll hope for some more good news. Thank you again for the time.
You're welcome.
That was Alan Erickson of the Soda Springs track and field team, the pole vaulting coach for the Soda Springs Cardinals. Final score here again ended up being 20-0, the Cardinals falling to the Nampa Christian Trojans. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll give a look ahead at what's coming up next on Cardinals baseball and softball on KBRV 800 The Bear and online with live video streaming at mylocalradio.com.
It's so pretty here.
Katie's away at college,
There's the library.
but she can still be close to her mom back home. Travis is working on a big report. High-speed internet puts a world of information at his fingertips. Silver Star Communications provides connections that help students learn and keep families close, even when they're miles apart. Get your family in touch and informed with high-speed internet from Silver Star Communications. Call today or visit silverstar.com.
There's an organization in southeast Idaho whose wildlife conservation efforts have been commended by the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, the Idaho Fish and Wildlife Foundation, and the North American Moose Foundation. Who is this organization? It's Monsanto. While Monsanto is honored by the recognition they receive, their ongoing dedication to the environment is its own reward for all of us. Monsanto. Imagine.
April showers bring May flowers. Join nature in renewing the beauty around us by sprucing up your home this month. Contact Terry at Sanders Furniture and Appliance and get a free estimate on adding new floor covering throughout your home. They also have floor covers, vacuum cleaners, carpet cleaners, free belts and bags, and offer free carpet shampoo. See the store for details. And while you're in there, be sure to check out the fabulous inventory and rebates on Maytag, Whirlpool, GE, Crosley, Amana, KitchenAid, and Speed Queen appliances. That's Sanders Furniture and Appliance in Soda Springs, located across from the Caribou County Courthouse.
Welcome back out to the post-game show on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com as the Soda Springs Cardinals fall to the Nampa Christian Trojans 20-0 by a final score as the Trojans put on the Jets in the first 3 innings, I should say, after the Cardinals were able to get through the first with a 0-0 ball game. It was 9 runs in the top of the second and 10 runs in the top of the third, and a very good hitting team for this Nampa Christian Trojans. Also a no-hitter pitched through 5 innings by the starting pitcher in McConnell for the Nampa Christian Trojans, so a very good performance by him. Looking ahead at what's next for the Soda Springs Cardinals, they're going to be playing tomorrow morning, I should say, 8:30 in the morning. Our pregame show will start with a 9 o'clock first pitch as the Cardinals will take on 1A Prairie as they come down from, I believe, District 2, where Prairie is out of. and the Cardinals will hope to try and get back to their winning ways as they are now 1-2 here at the Glens Ferries tournament, 6-4 overall on the season as they continue to search for it. Again, we'll be on air at 8:30. Softball will be playing at the softball field starting at 8:45. We'll try and get you updates from that game. After that, we'll switch things around. Next week, we'll be on the air on the 12th as the Firth Cougars will be taking their trip to the Soda Springs Cardinals and looking to try and get some revenge. We should be covering the baseball game there as we covered the softball game the first time those two teams ended up playing each other. And then on the 15th, the Shelley Russets. The Cardinals will be traveling up to Shelley for games that start at 3:30 for the opening first pitch. We'll be back after this on KBRV 800 The Barrel. Well, that actually wraps up our broadcast coverage of this one. And after this, we will end up being back on the air tomorrow morning. And as far as what looks forward to this, I want to thank you all for tuning in to the Soda Springs Cardinals postgame show. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Once again, the final score on today's Caribou Memorial Hospital scoreboard, 20-0 in the final game as the Cardinals go 1-1 today and 0-1 for the softball team, and officially 1-2 on the day for both teams. And we'll be on air again at 8:30 tomorrow, as we'd explained. Today's executive producer is Val Cook. We'd also like to thank the following folks from KBRV 800 The Bear in Soda Springs: General Manager and Office Manager Kim Miller, Chief Photographer Warren Cook, and all of you for listening in as well. All of our fine sponsors are also thanked as well, as we want to continue to thank them for giving us continued support. That includes the Soda Springs Galleria and Emporium, located next to the Idaho Theater. Kelly Wells for County Sheriff. Vote for leadership, integrity, knowledge, and excellence. Elect Kelly Wells for Caribou County Sheriff. Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier. Soda Smiles, Deceivingly Tan, and Caribou Memorial Hospital. Until next time, we're back on the air tomorrow morning at 8:30. Go Cardinals, go Caribou County.
Thank you for tuning in to this broadcast of Soda Springs Athletics on KBRV 800 The Bear and online at mylocalradio.com. This broadcast has been brought to you by Monsanto, Reed's Plumbing and Heating, Sanders Furniture, Agrium, Feeding the World Responsibly, and by Silver Star Communications. Keep it tuned right here all season long for more exciting action as the Redbirds of Soda Springs take to the diamond on your home for Caribou County Sports.